Hi there. Good morning, everybody. This is Laura Dankoff from Path to Health and Healing. And I'm also the founder of the Hormone Help for Women's Facebook group. I wanted to come on here this morning and talk about women in autoimmune disease. I've worked with thousands of women over the years for various hormone and autoimmune related things. And so today I thought I'd talk about a little bit just about autoimmune disease in women, particularly. Now, the information I'm about to share with you is for educational and information purposes only and is not a replacement for seeking appropriate medical care. So, did you know that the majority of people with autoimmune disease are, in fact, women? If you don't know what an autoimmune disease is, it is a disease in which the body's own immune system, they say, basically is attacking healthy cells, but it's really a lot more complicated than that. Um, you know, they say that the communication in the body is simply being disrupted. And that balance is being disrupted. But the question is, what's causing all that imbalance or disruption in the body is the big question. And this requires really delving down into the root causes that may be the trigger points. So, in functional medicine, we try to get to the root cause. So, you might say with autoimmune disease, you may have a gene that's present, but it really takes a perfect storm of events to take place to kind of fill up your bucket, to tip it over, and to be that trigger for something to happen. There are more than 100 currently recognized types of autoimmune disease. Examples here would be one of the most common in women is Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition, rheumatoid arthritis. Others can be celiac disease, lupus, MS, and many others. According to the American Autoimmune Related Disease Association, more than 50 million people suffer from some kind of autoimmune challenge in their lifetime. Fortunately, there's emerging treatments that are surfacing within functional medicine field to help combat some of these conditions, or at least get them under a manageable control. So, depending on the disease, the most common treatment method used in modern medicine, anyway, are steroids, which suppress the immune system entirely, or using other immune modulating drugs to help calm down that overactive immune system, you might say. Now, in the case of steroids, these can be helpful, in an acute phase, but long-term use of these can create potentially a host of other health challenges, risk and side effects. And certainly these are things that you want to discuss with your rheumatologist. This is generally the specialist most apt and immunologists that are most apt to deal with autoimmune conditions. So, in this case, the focus is really on symptoms rather than cause. This is a common theme, in the modern medical model. Now, functional health professionals, however, they're constantly trying to change the flawed system. And we ask, why is this even occurring? And what is causing the symptoms? And how do we unravel that whole mystery to prevent the autoimmune condition from happening, or to manage it in a healthy way that's less disruptive to the body. Now, functional medicine focuses on treating the root cause, as I mentioned, of the autoimmunity, such as inflammation. This can come in the form of an anti-inflammatory diet, testing for hidden allergens or food intolerances, removing any stressors or environmental toxins from the equation. Functional medicine recognizes that each person will differ in their particular treatment needs, so they are cared for accordingly. This is not a cookie cutter approach. It's a very individualized method to evaluating what's going on with your body and getting some of these root causes under control. So functional health, as I mentioned, is personal, it's individualized. So generating awareness to your own stressors and particular needs is key to fight against autoimmune challenges. This includes to becoming more literate of your particular case and the manifestations of your autoimmune disorder to enable you to be in control of it. Because ultimately, you are the person living with it day to day. So, increasing your awareness and ways to manage it and to reduce the triggers is really important. So, my hope is to enable all women to become literate in their functional health and also to maximize their chances of prevention and reverse their autoimmune complications. Now, like I said, it's a very complex thing and there's a lot of moving parts here. So let's just talk a little bit about food, for example. Oftentimes, when you're diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, how many practitioners tell you that your diet is very important to that, or that there could be certain food triggers that are inflammatory to your body. And this is different from person to person. So, consuming a diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods is an important aspect of managing any autoimmune condition. Foods like tomatoes and fatty fish, leafy greens, walnuts, almonds, turmeric, and ginger are all well known to help reduce the inflammation. They are natural anti-inflammatories. However, some people can be sensitive to gluten or foods with lectins in it. Or oxalate. So there are different things that can be triggers for a person. So one of the things that you could start with is simply trying an elimination diet as well to see if there's certain food triggers for you. Now, there's more in-depth food sensitivity testing that can be done. There's pros and cons to different types of tests that are out there as well. So if you start with an elimination diet, this is where you briefly remove a particular allergen from your diet in order to observe how your body reacts to it. It also is a great tool for identifying potential causes of inflammation. Common food elimination, foods that you eliminate from your diet can be like dairy, gluten, eggs, food dyes, sugars, saturated fats. Now, when you're doing an elimination diet, it is recommended that you take out, you can either do it one of two ways. You can take all those foods out, which is really hard and kind of, difficult, or you start with one of the big ones like gluten and dairy, and you take those out of your diet for 2 to 4 weeks to truly allow the body to adapt to a life without the potential triggering food. And also it's good to list out, what symptoms you're dealing with and the severity of the symptoms and the frequency of those symptoms. And then recheck that list again 2 to 4 weeks later after you've taken those foods out. Are you seeing an improvement? If you are, there's a good chance that you may have an intolerance to those particular foods for a period of time. So elimination diets are an incredible diagnostic tool and a preventative measure, as well as a treatment approach as well. For some, an elimination diet yields little impact. In this case, then you may want to seek out the help of a functional practitioner to help you complete food sensitivity testing. This can be beneficial and can be more definitive in guiding you on what food you may need to eliminate, and also guidance on whether or not and when to reintroduce those foods, or now or ever or later, into your diet. Other root causes to investigate looking at include the environmental triggers, imbalances in hormones. Definitely imbalances in hormones with women can be key here. And this is one of the areas I focus on and try to help women with in our Hormone Help for Women Facebook group. And also you can check out my website at pathtohealthandhealing.com. I'll have more information for you in the description below. And lastly, definitely looking at the gut microbiome can be a useful tool as well to unraveling some of these underlying triggers. So I hope that helps. And if you'd like more information or like to follow me further, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye.